My name is Clarissa Hernandez. I am on the Learning Experience Creative team. My title is Creative Director, so that means I lead our team of writers and designers, and I've been at Aceable for just over 2 years now. I started in June of 2020.
My name is Seth Perkins. I'm a motion designer on the Learning Experience team, and I've also been here about 2 years.
So the LX Creative Services team is part of the broader Learning Experience team, and our primary focus for the last few years has been in building new courses within our real estate vertical, and then also maintaining courses in our driving and real estate courses, anything that already exists. In the last 6 months or so, though, we have started to spread our wings a little bit and start to work with additional teams across Aceable. So we're able to spread those skills and expertise that we have in building courses and understanding what our students need, and being able to do that at various touch points. And maybe so it's before a person is a student, they're a potential student. And so we're thinking through things in new ways and creating new types of content.
As far as our elevator pitch, LX is the doers of the course creation process. We are the boots on the ground. We are, or more accurately, like the hands on the keyboard, but we are the get shit done to be able to create courses that are 90 hours long, whether that is writing all of the instructional material or coming up with questions and assessments or images and videos that support or reinforce learning objectives. And then as we're starting to come out of our shell or out of our LX bubble, it looks like writing blogs for the website or creating scripts and animation videos to allow people to see a little bit about what Aceable is all about before they purchase a course.
The LX Creative Services team is made up of 2 groups. There are writers and designers. The design team, you might have also heard of VizCom. That is a name that predates me and describes our design team on the LX Creative team.
The LX Creative Services team partners more broadly with the entire LX team, whether that is instructional designers or the ops team. But there's also inside the Creative Services department, designers and writers are really left foot, right foot in this content creation process. So there is a lot of teamwork and collaboration between those groups.
I will speak a little bit to how we are starting to work outside of the LX team. So as we start to partner with people in marketing and in product, that means that we are starting to create demo videos for our website, or we are writing what I would describe as like in-app copy. And so what that means is we're working with the product team to say, okay, there's this opportunity within the app experience that isn't like a lesson, a course, but is the navigation for how you will find your place within the course or additional details. We're writing that kind of content as well. We're doing that in collaboration with lots of different teams. As the leader of the creative team on LX, I think I want to acknowledge that we work with lots of people to set KPIs, to have deliverables that are measurable, things like that. But ultimately, as a creative team, we're really striving for and working toward 3 sort of big things that are more aspirational and high level. The first of those things is to really champion student-centered design. And when I say student-centered design, I don't mean like graphic design and just the visuals. I mean design in like the broadest sense. The idea that when you are solving a problem, you are designing a solution. The LX creative team is really focusing on the student and making sure that we are best serving their needs. And as we start to venture into these other kinds of projects, that means just like broadening the scope a little bit and thinking about the user as opposed to always thinking of them as a student. They might not yet be a student with us. The second thing that we are really striving for is to craft engaging content. So what that means is that creators are always using their skills as a designer, as a writer, to build really intentional content that is serving the objectives, making sure that students learn what they need, and then also thinking though outside of their own discipline, right? So thinking about how to best solve a problem, regardless of whether or not you are a designer or a writer. That doesn't mean you're always working or thinking within the medium you're most comfortable with. And then lastly, and I would say maybe most importantly or most uniquely to Aceable, we're really striving to evoke surprise and delight in pretty much everything we do. We know creating delight is a value at Aceable, and it's also a hallmark of our course content. When you go into our courses, we are trying to make you smile, maybe make you laugh, brighten your day a little bit, and make that content more engaging and easier to remember.
I think that two skills that are really broad come to mind for serving on the LX Creative Services team. The first is communication. Our goal at the end of the day is to share something, whether it is real estate instructional knowledge or whether it is our differentiators and what makes Aceable better than the competition. So whether it's through words, images, or videos, we have to be able to effectively communicate. And the tactics are going to change depending on who we're talking to and at what stage of our relationship with them. But to be able to communicate effectively is a requirement. And then collaboration would be the other one. None of this work happens in a silo, and there's a constant back and forth with writers or other stakeholders to be able to craft whatever we're trying to communicate.
I want to recognize that we are also a team of really specialized people who do write and design, right? The folks on our team are people who have written all kinds of content or who have designed across many different brands and with many different clients in mind, and who have a really great point of view and process for how to build systems and templates, things that are really critical to us doing our work well and efficiently. And that's true, again, across writing and design.
The main function of the LX Creative Services team is to help our students succeed. Because of that, I would say our core value, or one that best describes what we do, is help others succeed. We really work to keep our students the epicenter of what we are doing. So when we're making decisions or when we're trying to add new features, so frequently we pause and say, like, how is this going to affect our students? Is it going to help them? And that's a really kind of a guiding principle. And I also think that because the work that we do is so collaborative, there's a lot of helping each other succeed inside of the creative services environment. So if I had to choose one, it would be help others succeed.
I think that seeking to understand and create delight are really key to the LX Creative Services team. And honestly, thinking about Seth's answer and helping others succeed, when you put those three together, help others succeed, create delight, and seek to understand, I really think it speaks back to those success metrics that we have for ourselves, right? Of wanting to be able to ensure student success or user success, really thinking about them all of the time, and being able to sort of dig deeper and understand the why of something and then be able to communicate it. That is seeking to understand. And then obviously creating delight. That is something that we are doing every day. And also, similar to how Seth described it, I think that's true of both the work that we do as a team, but also in how we work together. Those things are really, really important to the way we collaborate both within LX and across the whole organization.
From my perspective, we have a really unique set of skills to help Aceable and help a lot of different departments achieve their goals. Unfortunately, we have a limited time to do that. And I think that that's the biggest challenge, is that we want to be able to share this Aceable story widely and broadly, but we are just limited in what we can accomplish with the hours in the day. And a lot of these projects, especially video projects, can be kind of a medium to a heavy lift. There are a lot of phases, and there's a lot of alignment, and there's a lot of seeking to understand that we need to do before we even start the animation process. The challenge is to really falls to leadership to prioritize what projects we are going to take on and which make the biggest impact on our business.
As we continue to work with more and more teams across the organization, we're figuring out how to work together. There are a lot of times when it might be the first time we've ever worked cross-functionally with a specific marketing team member or product team member. And so we are trying to develop sort of scalable processes and solutions so that we can be able to do this kind of work more frequently, because we think it's really valuable and people really enjoy it. As an organization, we're pretty good at working in ambiguity. And so while it is a challenge that exists, it's one that we're all sort of in together on and figuring things out.
In the last few months, the LX Creative Services team has been tasked with creating promotional videos. And these have allowed us to share with prospective students what our app is like before they ever buy our app. And hopefully we are able to not only communicate the differentiators of what we are doing and how we're doing it differently, but also the tone and the heart of Aceable to truly help people succeed. So it has been fun to break out of the LX shell and work with more people. It seems like at every kickoff project, it's like, oh, I've seen your name on Slack, but I've never had the chance to meet you. So it's been fun to work with more people. And I think that the results have been something that we're all proud of as well.
In addition to promotional videos, the LX Creative Services team is working on everything from blog articles for our website to landing pages. We're refreshing some of the pages on our site. We work on guides or resources and tools that are for our students or for potential students that can be used as marketing materials, or sometimes they are within the app experience once you purchase one of our courses. One thing that the LX team is really good at is what is inside of our product and what that experience is like. And so we're really happy to be able to start spreading that more and more across the organization and with anyone who comes across Aceable.
One of the things that the LX Creative Services team has done is create templates and this modular approach to everything that we create. I think the nature of what we are building, really long courses that have a lot of images, it was a requirement that we move fast and we create content that scales or is just easy to create. For example, before we built the Arizona course, we might create 20 videos for a course. Because of some requirements for our Arizona pre-licensing course, we needed to create 90 videos. We knew that we were going to have to shift how we built things to be smoother, quicker, faster. We've been thinking, or we have built templates and libraries that allow videos or still graphics and even written content to be repurposed and to be able to, if we're going to spend the time to build something, for example, create a video that lives on Florida's real estate product page. And what can we do to get it in Georgia and Texas and North Carolina and repurpose some of these elements so that we are just maximizing the value of the time that we spend.
As a creative team, one of the things that we've honed sort of individually, but then also as a team, is a process for ideating, for brainstorming. It's a formal practice called design thinking, right? And recognizing that when you collaborate with other people, or even as an individual contributor, as you're like trying to come up with ideas, there is time for what is called flair and focus. When you need all of the ideas to come in and you want to hear everything that you think even might be bad, put it up, share it with people, just everything. Let's take all of the ideas. And then starting to ask questions, look at the strategy of something. What is that maybe agreed upon criteria we've already set for narrowing down those ideas to say yep, that's really going to work. Or this could work really well if we tweaked it in this way, so that then we get down to just a few ideas that we can recommend as possible solutions.
When it comes to collaboration with the LX Creative Services team, it is never too early to put something on our radar. I think that time is the most limiting factor in how we're able to contribute in the organization. And some of these projects are really big and they take longer than we want them to. So the sooner you can reach out to us, the better. Even if it's for a project that is quarters away or it's not perfect, it doesn't need to be. I think that we would all rather be in the fold and be able to just kind of see a process or a project develop versus like, okay, it's perfect. Here it is. It's due next week. Like that's always so challenging. And to be able to set our team up for success, we welcome hearing from you. We want to know sooner rather than later that we might be able to help or contribute in some way.
Asking why is a really big part of what the creative team does. And that is so important to get to do early on, or at least to get to be a part of the entire process, to understand someone else's why, right? And to be able to hear that in meetings or ask questions and have conversations. Just to reiterate, the earlier the better. One thing that someone could do who's interested in getting into creative services on, frankly, any kind of creative team is to have a portfolio of relevant work that kind of showcases your skill at writing or designing. Again, as much as collaboration and communication are part of what we do, ultimately, we're also asking that you put out a work product that is a written article or a designed infographic. And so being able to see the quality of that work and how you do that is really important. Maybe just make things, and lots of them, is really critical to starting to be a part of a creative team. What you make doesn't have to be published. It doesn't have to be sort of for a real client or a real business. It can all be fake and made up, so long as it is in service of an objective that you could then speak to and explain. And so making those things, and then honestly reaching out to anyone on our team for feedback. That's a really big part of the creative process too. And so getting to see how you work and take feedback, more formal kind of critique, is a really important part of the whole process. I think LX has been like in our own little world of creating courses for a while now. And as we are starting to branch out, if you have any interest or any ideas, really encouraging people to reach out, whether that's to me or anyone on the creative services team, honestly, anyone within LX, to better understand what we do and how we might be able to help support what's happening across the organization. We really welcome it.